Hey, ninth grade. We are on week 3, day 2 of our remote learning. I know that this week has been a little bit different. Everything has been very different. So thanks so much to those of you that were able to log on yesterday and upload that assignment into Google Classroom. If you missed yesterday and you're tuning in now, the first thing that we did yesterday was we began a new unit. We're starting a unit on poetry and some spoken word. And so yesterday we just went through a couple of different poems, 5 different poems. They're all in the slides from yesterday. And Mr. Allen and I asked you to select one poem that you enjoyed the most and explain why you chose that poem. Very simple. There was also an option on the slide where if you did not like the 5 options that Mr. Allen and I gave you, you were welcome to click the link for Kate Clancy's Twitter and choose an alternate poem, because there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. So if you're still like not done with yesterday, you want to come into today having selected a poem that you enjoy and that you would like to commit to working with for the next 2 days, okay? Okay, so we have our slides for the day. We are analyzing a poem. Focus objective number 2, I can analyze a poem using the 6 guiding elements. First thing you need to do is locate the poem that you chose to respond to yesterday, pull it up on your screen so that it is available to you. If you didn't choose a poem, like I said, go back, read through the slides, choose the poem that you like best, or click on the link and find a poem that suits you. Please take a mindful minute, whether you do it right now or 10 minutes from now, or if you do it 3 or 4 more times throughout the day. Take a moment and pause. Take a breath. Do not allow yourself to become overwhelmed, which I know is much easier said than done, but please take a moment for your mental and emotional health to just breathe. After we've breathed, we have the 6 components or the 6 elements that we're asking you to zoom in on today as you go to analyze the poem that you chose. So you might be looking at these 6 words and thinking, I've seen these 6 words before. I know what some of these words are. Great. You might be looking at them and saying, I think maybe I kind of sort of know what some of them are. Either way, do not worry. The video on the next slide here is going to give you a 5-minute instruction on those elements and how you would use those 6 elements to analyze a poem. One thing to note, in the video, it says for element number 2, it says theme, okay? I changed theme and I changed the word to concept. Why? Because I don't really care for the word theme the way that it's being used in this video. It's more of a concept or an idea. Usually when we're talking about theme, we're going towards like a thematic statement, and that's a different thing. So because we've used the word concept all year long, we're gonna stick with the word concept. So when you see theme, just think it's a concept, okay? And this video, what it does is the person speaking behind the video goes through the way to analyze the poem with these 6 elements in mind. And then there's all these questions that are posted. These questions are questions that are meant to help promote your thinking and promote your brain to start analyzing that particular element. Let me back up for a second. Once you finish watching this whole video and it goes through the 6 elements and you listen to the guy giving the instruction, your task is going to be to go to the Google document and analyze the poem that you chose yesterday with those 6 elements in mind. Now, there is a document that Mr. Allen and I created for you. This is the document that we created. So what you will notice is the 6 elements that the video just went over are all listed on the left, in the left column. You have subject, concept, tone, imagery, form, or feeling. The definition of each of those elements is also in that box under the word. These questions that you see in the middle, or the hints, the clues, the examples, are meant to help you think. These sentences and questions were taken from the video. So the questions that are here on this slide mirror or are the same as the ones that you're seeing here. However, we took a few of them out because this is a lot of questions, and Mr. Allen and I felt like less was more. So you don't have as many as that, okay? So the directions say, read the notes for each of the 6 elements and use the guiding questions to take notes in the box about your poem. Try to answer as many questions as you can. You can bullet point your answers. So for the first one, for example, let's say I was filling in this document and the poem that I chose was A Dream Deferred by Langston Hughes, which was not an option, but I'm just using a sample. It's actually called Harlem. The poem is right here. So I'm gonna just model it for you. What happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun, or fester like a sore and then run? Does it stink like rotten meat, or crust and sugar over like a syrupy sweet? Maybe it just sags like a heavy load, or does it explode? You might have seen this poem in middle school. You might have never seen this poem. If you've ever read A Raisin in the Sun, it's the poem that comes before the play. It's been referenced in lots of movies and books, so maybe it's familiar to you. If not, the gist of the poem is more or less what happens to the dreams that we let go of, the things that we stop pursuing. Do they come back to haunt us? Do they weigh us down in life? Do they just kind of go away and do we just forget about them? So it's all rhetorical questions, okay? So if I was filling in this document that Mr. Allen and I made for you with that poem in mind, I would write who wrote it. Langston Hughes wrote this poem, right? So I would put Langston Hughes. Why did they write it? I don't know. Maybe they wrote it to da 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 da. And I would just keep going down the list. What are some of the concepts? I think this poem has to do with loss and regret because blah, 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 blah. And I would fill that box in. What's the tone? The tone to this, in this poem, seems to be a little bit maybe regretful or curious is a good word, maybe. I mean, you have to really think and play around with it, but do you see how I'm just literally going through the document and I'm writing down my answers for the poem, okay? You're going to have to, obviously, I'm doing this very quickly because I'm giving you a quick video, but you're gonna have to read through your poem and really look at the language and make sure you understand what the poem is about and really try to dive into it as best as you can. I erased the document, so now it's fresh and blank for you. If this document and the format of this document overwhelms you and you feel like there are too many boxes and you are confused on what to do and where to type and all of that, you can just scroll down here and you can write notes under each of the 6 elements for your particular poem, if that works better for you. So you have 2 options. You can use the graphic organizer and just fill in your information in the boxes, or you can write your answers on the bottom. No matter which way you spin it, all you are doing is analyzing the poem of your choice with these 6 elements in mind: subject, concept, tone, imagery, form, and feeling. If you got stuck and you're not sure, go back to the video, rewatch the instruction, listen to the notes, use the guiding questions. And if you get super stuck, phone a friend, ask somebody else, see in the comments box who selected the same poem as you. Maybe you can touch base with that person and have a conversation. Hey, I'm kind of struggling on what the tone is. What did you get? Why did you say that? Why do you think that that's the tone of this poem? And if you're really, really, really stuck, of course, use Mr. Allen and Miss Laredo as a lifeline, okay? Do not stress. Do not get overwhelmed. Do your best. Do as much as you can, okay? Make an attempt and just make some type of effort. We know that you guys are trying, and we know that you can do this, okay? Good luck, all the best, and sending you guys health and love. Bye.